onto a pharmaceutical company and say, give us your most sensitive product. Let's do some joint trials together. Let's co-fund an exercise to prove that your product is stable in this new material, and that the benefits that we're talking about on paper actually realize themselves on your blister machine. I think that is what is missing. I think many people have come in the past with good ideas, but nobody is actually really incentivized or broken into that market, because people will go back and use what they already have. So they're probably more likely to make a decision to go from alu-alu to a film because of the benefits I said, but film to film, because nobody's really partnered with them, because nobody's really explained the benefits of what they're offering or even considered co-development, I don't think many people have had much luck there. When people have changed films, it's because there's been a regulatory issue. So someone has had a film that perhaps has additives in it, or a chemical composition that's no longer considered safe, or because they've had a major supply outage and they've let down their partner. So the partner's moved away from them to an alternate. In my opinion, in my experience, they would be the primary two reasons for changing a film just this far.
Mm-hmm. Russell, if the decision has to be taken with regard to which material would take preference over the other, is it traditionally a collaborative decision between the technology and procurement in the generic space, or is it one of more of a procurement-driven type of decision process? How does that unfold?
That's a great question. So I would say there are still generic companies out there where it's a science-led decision, and the procurement team aren't involved early enough. But I would say, to your example, there are some where it's almost entirely procurement-driven. The ratio, with my knowledge as of now, I would say that probably 50% of the decisions are made as a joint decision right now. That means there's still 50 that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And the criteria, as said before, are then based on legacy, experience, and let's say we have observed in our market research quite a few shifts or changes. We see changes. Interestingly, we see quite a bit, to our surprise, cold form growth, actually into the generics, which is counterintuitive to our own understanding and also to what you are sharing with us. It's one thing. And the other thing...
we can cover that as a specific now or later if you want.
Go ahead, and if you have a comment to that.
Yeah, sure. So if you think about, the patent cliff, and if you think about how mega molecules have dropped off of patents and protection over the last 10 years in particular, the first ones to drop off were simple API, well, I say simple, relatively simple chemistry products, even in a solid dosage form. But now we have polymorphs and enteric-coated products, so they're either physically or chemically or physiochemically more complicated. So many of them are coming across as cold form products because the originators just went mega safe and they specified them in cold form. So the generics, because everything is about speed now, they don't want to risk at launch, in the race to launch, they don't want to risk the flip from cold form to a laminate. So I actually see this as an opportunity for someone with a film, because I think this is just straight conversion, keep it simple, get it on the market, review it later. And that's because the regulatory package, as you know, if you change the primary pack material, you're probably going to have a lot of stability these days, not just 6 months accelerated. So that's a big risk. That could put you at the back of the queue, and you don't want that.
Okay. So time to market is compromised if you, as a generics player, decide to come up with a non-cold form solution, because you always have stability data.
Exactly. So for me, the research, the little bit of additional market research